Hi. Thank you for attending today's reading. Let's begin. Something recently happened in my country. So, I live in a small country in South America. It's called Paraguay. We, as all other countries, have police barriers to check on people crossing through cities. The police is pretty corrupt here. And if you pay the police money, they are more likely to let you pass the city border. Anyway, the story goes like this. There was a man with his wife and a kid in the backseat wanting to pass by without knowing that police were checking people in that area. Realizing this, they take a U-turn and then the police start chasing after them. They fired at the car and hit the small child in the backseat, who is now hospitalized. The parents seem to be trying to take this to the court of law. But there are still no news about that. To make a long story short, poor man can't afford to pay the police. His son gets shot because of it. End of story. Next story. Chicken nuggets. Chicken nuggets are good. If you have never had chicken nuggets before, that's sad. But one time my friend brought a giant box of Dino nuggets and it was the best thing ever. End of story. Next story. A story about how I dug an escape tunnel. So when I was in 7th grade, me and 3 friends decided to do something stupid as hell. He decided to dig a hole behind a toolshed at school. If we got our work done on time, we would get free time and choose to stay inside, watch a movie, or go outside. We all decided to go outside one day and found a big rock that we could pick up. So I said to them, "What if we dig a hole?" And they both thought it was a great idea. So we got sticks and sharpened them while one guy stood lookout for teachers. One day we even stole spoons from the cafeteria to dig it. It was the end of the year, so we didn't get very far. We named the hole Harry and got a good 1.5 to 2 feet down without getting caught. It's still there to this day. End of story. Next story. How you lose faith in humanity in 24 hours. Last year, where I live, northeast UK, had a large snowstorm and every exit of my village was full of snow. Even the council snowplow got stuck. Random village folk, including my family, got it out and turned around. Later that day, a car passed our house and my dad instantly said that's going to get stuck, and instantly got ready in his outdoor scarf hat and giant trench coat and called my brother to help him. They found the car completely covered in snow, stuck, and got the driver out and safe, but the car was not moving. The man was invited inside for a cup of coffee and time to figure out how he was getting home. Eventually his wife drove as close to the village as possible and my dad walked to it with him to make sure he was safe. Unfortunately, if this all went well, I wouldn't be telling this story the next day. We went out to check on the car and it was completely destroyed, windows broken, tires slashed, and car completely burnt out. Our guess is that the teens that lived in the nearby town walked through the village and saw the unaccompanied car half buried in snow and thought it would be their best way to lighten up a snow day. Just imagine that, man, though. First you crash into a snow wall and get stuck inside your car, then you see 2 tall cloaked figures with scarves covering their faces and shovels who offer help in trying to move the car. Then you're in their house with your coat drying by the fire and being offered coffee and homemade bread, then getting safely home. Then the next day finding your car completely destroyed. Poor guy. End of story. Next story. Why am I so stupid? So this is a story about a time that I was being dumb. AKA a few hours ago. So almost a week ago. I made myself some hot cocoa. It was really good because I added a peppermint and some marshmallows. Anyways, I'm never able to finish hot cocoa and apparently I forgot about it and stayed overnight at My dad's job. Fast forward to yesterday. I'm laying in bed with my dogs before dinner and I smell something strange. I knew I had smelled it somewhere else but I couldn't remember where or what it was coming from. All I could think was cheese. I managed to go to sleep that night because I couldn't identify the smell. Tonight I was laying in bed trying to go sleep but I kept smelling the smell. I would put lotion on the back of my hand to block out the scent until morning so I could look for the source again. Then I remembered that I didn't do my homework so I got up and started it. Finally I got back in bed and smelled it again. It was so bad. I checked my pillow, my dog, my sheets, my clothes, everything I could think of. When I didn't find anything I decided to keep looking the next day. While I was trying to fall asleep I looked over onto my nightstand and saw the mug I had made the hot cocoa in. That's when I realized, oh hey, I put milk in that. So I got back up to smell it and it was horrible. That's why I smelled cheese. I took it to the sink and put hot water in it so I could clean it. The smell's gone now. End of story. Next story. How I got a GF15 comments share save hide report 83% upvoted. End of story. Next story. That one time when I was at Disney World as a kid and told someone to shut up when I was 9. I went to Disney World for a Christmas gift and lived out every American kid's dream. Well, except one part of the trip wasn't very dreamy. So, I was in a theater watching a behind-the-scenes movie about Star Wars. I think. Anyways, there was this one Spanish-speaking lady behind me. I was in one of the very back rows. Who was driving me nuts. She wouldn't stop talking loudly every second of the movie. I turned around to shush her. But she just kept talking without even pausing. I shushed her 3 more times. Not even paying attention to the movie anymore. Eventually, I said, "Shut up." But she just kept rambling on. I just decided to ignore her. It wasn't until I started to exit the theater that I caught sight of the talking lady. Her outfit looked like a uniform and read, "Interpreter, interpreter." That's when I realized the ugly truth. I had just told a Spanish interpreter to shut up. End of story. Next story. Bright idea to hide fart didn't go as planned. I was in English class and I suddenly had the urge to fart but didn't know how to pull it off without anyone noticing. Later I had the bright idea to drop my binder on the floor and when it hits the floor I fart so nobody would hear it. I decide to go for it and I drop my binder. Little did I know the binder hit my chair while falling which delayed the fall so basically what happened was that my binder hit the ground and called attention to me. And then 1 second later I just let out a massive fart. Not my experience. End of story. That is all for today. If you want to support my automated channel feel free to drop a like and subscribe. See you tomorrow.